Hey guys, it's Christina, and today we're going to be watching Jake. To make a long story short, I recorded a whole entire reaction video to this show, American Dragon Jake Long, but said Jake the American Dragon for the whole entire reaction video, and I sound like a freaking idiot. So I'm just going to do a video essay this week. With all that said, let's get into the video essay. So, growing up, one of my favorite shows was American Dragon Jake Long. I think it was honestly one of the only shows I saw growing up that featured a mostly Asian ensemble, and I had a really big crush on Jake Long as a kid. He was like the OG skater e-boy. And no, before y'all pull up with the Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior, have you guys seen Wendy Wu Homecoming Warrior? Y'all remember the last time Disney tried to make an episode inspired by anime?
Cousins. I don't know, you better.
Yeah, what the f is this? But if you wanted to hear my thoughts on how damaging it is growing up in white suburbia as an Asian American kid, you should check out my review on the half of it. I get pretty into my trauma there. But first, before you go there, finish this video, because we have a lot to talk about. For those of you who have not seen the show, or hardly remember it like I do, this show centers around a happy kid named Jake Long who discovers he has the ability to turn into a dragon. His grandpa trains him on these abilities so he can successfully help defeat these random mythological creatures in the city that no one else apparently sees or believes, or when they see them, it looks a lot like this. Like, make that make sense. But anyways, while I was rewatching American Dragon Jake Long for this review, I found one particular episode extremely interesting. In season 2, episode 24, they did an episode on Chinese New Year. Basically, in this episode, Jake's white dad asked Jake and his little sister, Haley, and his mom to help him with the Chinese New Year dragon in the parade this year. This is a very common Chinese practice on Chinese New Year, and chances are most of my Chinese American viewers will have a dragon dance or a lion dance experience or story to share. I'd love to hear about it in the comments, because we all know. But Jake's dad's reasoning for wanting to do this
is gonna make my Chinese ancestors so proud.
There's really no way to put this gently. You're not Chinese.
Ooh, whoopsie daisy, I beg to differ there with you, honey who, as you may recall, we all know that the ancestors of Native Americans are right.
Now, I found this really fascinating for the show to incorporate because it's self-aware at how messed up it is for a white man to feel like he is Asian, either because he's in a relationship with an Asian woman or because he is 1/16 of whatever he said. Thousand Island dressing man. I don't care. But in a meta way, a lot of the people who worked on the show are white, but they felt like they had a right to be cracking very stereotypical Asian jokes left and right. Like, can someone explain to me why every time Grandpa talks, ancient Chinese music comes on? Or like any Asian character pops up, it's really like ancient Chinese music comes on? Could you imagine if every time a white character talked in a show, we just started playing?
Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on?
That's weird.
Anyways, so the episode continues on, and Jake tries to get out of doing the dragon dance by offering Grandpa help through watching his store on Chinese New Year. But as Jake shows earlier through his dumb chopstick remarks,
I always get sweet and sour dipping sauce, and watch me work some magic with these chopsticks.
him and his best friends clean out Grandpa's store as an attempt to show how responsible Jake is, but this totally backfires because you're not supposed to clean on Chinese New Year's Day. The whole point of this episode was supposed to be that the store becomes cursed with bad luck because they disobeyed the no cleaning rule on Chinese New Year. But also, by this logic, you are also supposed to take a day or days off from work because it's considered unlucky to work and do chores on the first day of the year, as it symbolizes going through hardships throughout the year. So it's technically like he's cursed either way. I think often this show tried to educate its non-Chinese viewers on what Chinese culture is like, which I think is cool, but also the way they did it sometimes really reached for
But Chinese stuff is so cool.
the right answers, but then just totally missed the mark.
You got the food, the history, not to mention the many varieties of exotic martial arts. I call mine spunk food.
Or how Grandpa completely falls into the stereotypical Kung Fu Mr. Miyagi type, like to a T. It's just annoying how until Lulu Wong's The Farewell, we hardly saw Asian grandparents as non-Kung Fu grandmasters. Or Jake's best friend, Trixie, being a total stereotype of a black character. I mean, it's not my place to get into that, but I just felt like that was not right. The thing I did appreciate about this episode was the acknowledgement of how Jake is different from his grandpa. He's Asian American, and he does not always understand his culture, but it doesn't make him not Asian.
An offering for his ancestors!
You dishonor my family. Sorry,
Same for his white dad, who thinks he's more Asian because he understands a lot about his Chinese culture. I think a lot of Asian Americans will really relate to this sentiment. I also have a theory that when Jake says really cringy, weird things like,
"What's that little red envelope of cheddar? Andrew Jackson's inside, anybody's twin brother?"
he's simply just trying to overcompensate for his inability to really fit in. I mean, he doesn't really have anyone else who is Asian American near him, so he feels like he has to try extra hard to not be too Asian or it'll be weird. That's totally something a lot of us can really relate to or have done before. I can't really sum up my thoughts on the whole entire show because I only rewatched 3 episodes, but I will say this much. It's not horrible for the representation of Asian Americans, but it's also not great. It furthered this weird, exotic view of being Chinese, and I genuinely remember kids at school used to think it was okay to talk to me in a deep Asian accent because it was so normalized in shows like this. I know it always comes from a place of appreciation, but, you know, the whole Kung Fu stereotype in deep Chinese accent is just, we've seen her a lot. Like a lot. And I'm a little bit tired of seeing her. At the same time, this show sometimes addressed really difficult topics of how some people belittle things within Chinese culture, like dad thinking he has a right to tell anyone who's actually Asian how to be more in touch with their Asian roots is completely inappropriate. Making him the butt of the joke is brilliant because it's showing people that that's not right. But nonetheless, y'all should take a watch of this show and let me know what you guys think. Maybe you'll agree, maybe you'll disagree. I'd love to hear it. I also do want to apologize to you guys for my very infrequent uploading schedule recently. A lot of things have been going on right now. I'm just like working a lot in terms of like freelance directing, and I want to do some more videos kind of showing you guys what it's like to be like a freelance commercial director or like a freelance music video director. But you know, it's just been really hard to like manage doing both things. But I really love making YouTube videos, and I want to thank you guys for like 1.7k subscribers. That is insane, and definitely not what I expected 3 months ago when I started this channel. I really just made this for kicks. So thank you guys so much for your support. And as always, I will see you guys next week.
Time for you to do better for yourself. Do better for yourself.